Well, what quite an interesting game. What a quite an interesting struggle this game has been so far. We had to wait a bit to see some more action, though, because unfortunately, Chaplin was unfortunately dealing with some personal matters that he had to deal with. Unfortunately, his grandfather passed away recently, and of course, family comes first, and the game had to wait as a consequence. But meanwhile, we had to wait, and of course, as we all know, we are all big fans of Axis and Allies, and we just couldn't wait for Chaplin to make his moves with Soviet Russia. All right, it is turn two, actually, correction, turn three. Russia just went. Unfortunately for Allies, the Allies have been dealt a second defeat. The first defeat took place early round one, correction, early round three, when the Allies lost over the skies of southern England a good portion of their aircraft. Up to three aircraft were shot down, belonging to the French and British Air Forces, meaning then that the uh, industrial complex in southern England was bombed to the point where it's no longer producing any war material. 14 points worth of damage were sustained by that factory. When it was Russia's turn, the Russians launched a counteroffensive against the Germans in Bessarabia. Unfortunately, the Russians were utterly defeated. The entirety of the attacking Russian army was decimated. The Germans did sustain casualties. I believe the Germans lost a total of about 7 infantry ground units and 3 AAAs, meaning hence that even though they sustained heavy casualties, the bulk of the German army in Bessarabia is still operative, which means then that the Germans, sometime in round four, will be able to counter the counteroffensive, if there's such a term. In any case, we can see that the southern front of the eastern front is actually unopposed. The Germans literally just have to walk in to the southern areas of the Soviet Union. All right, so let's go ahead with Japan's turn. As you guys know, this is BBR 3.0, which is a rule variant of the Axis and Allies global game that was created by our very good friend Sire Blood. Japan will be starting this game with a total of 50 IPCs. It'll be buying 3 armor, 1 fighter, 2 infantry, 1 minor industrial complex, and a weapons tech development. I believe that the Japanese will be declaring a total of 3 naval, not just 1 naval battle, and 7 ground battles, 2 of which are amphibious operations. The first battle will be the battle for Sea Zone, what sea zone is this? 45 off the coast of Dutch New Guinea, where they will be attacking an Anzac fleet consisting of a naval transport and 1 destroyer. There will be an amphibious operation in Java, a second amphibious operation in Borneo. The territories of Kweichow in central China and Hunan will be attacked as well. Shan State in Indochina, French Indochina, will be attacked and invaded as well. And of course, the big battle, the battle for Calcutta. And in this battle, you'll have 2 titanic armies facing each other. And I want to say that whoever wins this battle will end up having the upper hand in the Pacific. We shall see, though. All right, but let's first engage with the minor battles. Let's go ahead and declare our combat movements first before we do anything else. First battle will be the battle for Sea Zone 45. In this battle, you have 1 destroyer, 1 submarine coming from Sea Zone 35, the movement of 1. You have a defending French, correction, a defending Anzac transport and destroyer. This attack will be supported by one strategic bomber coming from Kiangsi at a movement of 1, 2, and 3. This strategic bomber will have 3 movements left in its fuel gauge. Second battle will be, let me see this, coming from the Philippine Islands, where you have one naval transport picking up infantry and artillery at a movement of 1 and 2, and will take and land Japanese forces in the island of Java in Sea Zone 42. Third battle, we have one naval transport picking up one Japanese infantry from Burma at a movement of 1 and 2, and will be taking Borneo. There you go. Let's go over into central China, where you have one Japanese infantry coming from Amway at a movement of 1, and will take over Kweichow. The rest of the Japanese army in Amway, consisting of, what is it, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 infantry. 7 infantry. 1 mechanized infantry. Actually, 7 infantry, 1 mechanized, 7 infantry and 3 artillery will be moving into Hunan as well. This unit, this mechanized infantry, will later on be moving into Yunnan. Okay, but that's a non-combat movement. I'm mentioning it now just in case if I forget it, it'll be on record. All right, so those are the 2 battles for China, and Kweichow and Hunan. And last but not least, the big battle, the battle for, I'm forgetting that there is an armored unit in Burma that will blitz through Xi'an State and end up in French Indochina. All right, so that's a Japanese armored unit. And now the big battle, the battle for Calcutta. This battle, we have 2 British fighters, 1 tactical bomber, 2 artillery, and 13 British infantry defending, along with 3 AAAs that, of course, will engage as a defense. All right, so let's go ahead with the actual combat movements for the battle for Calcutta. In this battle, we have 8 Japanese infantry divisions coming in from Burma into Calcutta. That attack will be supported by 3 artillery divisions coming from Burma as well. We have a single remaining infantry division up in the north that will be moved later on during non-combat movement into Yunnan. All right, coming from the 3 carriers in Sea Zone 38 off the coast of Burma, you have a total of 6 fighters. Okay, all of these 6 fighters will be represented by the 1 fighter coming from the carriers at a movement of 1 and 2. All 6 carriers will be landing in Burma. This strategic bomber represents these aircraft that are currently in Kwangsi, and that's a total of 8 tactical bombers, along with 5 fighters. So that's 8 tactical bombers, 5 fighters, and 1 strategic bomber that represents that attacking force at a movement of 1, 2, and 3. All of these aircraft will also land in Burma at the end of the combat phase of this turn. All right, I'm back. Let's go ahead and perform the first battle. The first battle is the battle over Dutch New Guinea. In this battle, let me just get my cup here. We have 4 at 2 facing off against the defending Anzacs, which is 1 at 2. So I'm going to roll. First, let me get my tray. I'm trying to be not as messy. I'm trying to be neat here, so this way we don't have any accidents. All right, so here we go. We have 4 at 2 attacking 1 at 2. go. We get 2 hits. Okay, the defending fleet gets to defend with 1 die at 2 because there's only 1 destroyer there defending. There we go. It's a miss. All right, so this fleet gets sunk to the bottom of the sea. No casualties or losses sustained by the Japanese. And here we go forward.
Okay. All right, guys. Detroit here. So let's go ahead with the battle for Calcutta. The Japanese will be attacking with a total of 8 die at 4, 11 die at 3, 8 at 2, and 5 at 1. However, the British do have 3 AAAs in Calcutta, which means that those AAAs do get a chance to fire at the incoming Japanese aircraft. So let's go ahead and do that right now. I have Chaplin on the other end. He's actually helping me out. I've had an issue here, a technical issue, where I basically have had difficulties, and now Chaplin is helping me out, and I appreciate his assistance with these issues that I've been experiencing. So let's go ahead, Chaplin. Roll your AAAs and see if you get lucky there.
Okay, sounds good. Set the camera down. How many planes are you sending? A lot?
I'm sending, a lot of aircraft. It's a total of 11 fighters.
Okay.
8 tacticals and 1 strategic bomber.
Okay, so I've only got 9 shots. Let's see what happens. There are 3 hits, and I will tilt this camera down too so that you can see it on your end.
All right.
One
so
in the
what
corner.
I'll be doing then is I'll be taking out the strategic bomber, which I'll be removing 2 die, right? And then I'll be removing 2 die at 3, right? So that leaves me with 9 at 3. So it's 8 at 4 and 9 at 3. So I'm going to go ahead and place my die all in my handy dandy roller here that I have, my extra size cup.
Come on, misses.
All right, I see a lot of hits already. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20 hits. So that's 20 hits. That's phenomenal. Phenomenal, Chaplin.
Yeah, well, for you. All right.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to move my camera to my dice tray for my defense.
Yeah.
I'm going to tilt the laptop camera down so you can see as well. Okay, so I have 13 infantry and 2 artillery at 2, 1 tactical at 3, and 2 fighters at 4. So I'm going to throw everything. This is all the marbles here.
That is correct.
Well,
Yes,
not
sir.
bad. 1, 2, 3,
Not
4,
bad.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hits. Okay.
Wow.
And you hit me 20,
Yes, sir.
so 3 AAA.
Yeah.
And then those 6 infantry makes 9. Those 6 infantry makes 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I have 1 fighter left.
You have a fighter left.
I do.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead, and you inflicted, 9 on me, was it?
Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 7. I don't know. Call it 7. I don't remember. It was 7.
You know what? We could always make the adjustment later.
That's right.
Okay.
I'm not going to make you
Because
throw
it is-
your attack again, though. I'm not going to make you do that.
Okay, so thank you.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
just have 1 defending. I'll tilt my thing back down for you here. Ready?
Yeah.
And that was a hit. So 1 more
You
unit.
got it.
Okay.
So we got to add the 1 plus whatever number you actually hit when we review the video here. We'll
That
figure
is
that one
correct.
out, right? So, but I do have to make a footnote here. I do have plenty of ground units to absorb damage and take Calcutta. So that's without a doubt. Calcutta has officially fallen,
Boo.
and it is under the control of the Japanese at this point in time.
Man, those attacking rolls killed me, dude.
You know what? I did extremely well. I did have a lot of firepower, though.
Yeah,
and
you did.
that ultimately made the difference.
Yep.
All right, my brother. So before I move on, anything on your end? Anything you want to say?
I wish I had better dice.
Yes, sir. Anyway, my brother, thank you for your assistance, and we'll continue forward then with the non-combat movement phase of this time.
All right, YouTube. So we're back here, back at the garrison. I want to thank once again Chaplain for the assist. The end result is that Calcutta has fallen to the Imperial Japanese Army at a high loss of men and material, but all well worth it, I believe. Anyway, so let's go ahead with the non-combat movements. Japan will be landing all of its aircraft that attacked. I'm sorry, I need to remove my casualties that were involved in that battle. And for Calcutta, the Japanese will have remaining only one artillery. All right, so I was correct in my initial assessment during the battle. I know we kind of lost track of casualties, but the defending British forces did inflict a total of 10 casualties on the attacking Japanese. Fortunately for the invading Japanese, they had sufficient ground units allowing them to take Calcutta without any loss of aircraft, in addition to the first 3 that they lost. All right, so let's land. All of the aircraft that attacked Calcutta will be landing in Burma. All right, so the strategic bombers out. I have to remove. I'm going to remove 3 fighters from the carriers. I'm sorry, 2 fighters from the carriers. I'm going to take them as casualties, and they will be landing. The surviving fighters will be landing in Burma. Sorry, I know I'm not zooming into the movements here, but I apologize. It's kind of hard to do multiple things at the same time. All right, so got 4 fighters. This entire mass of aircraft will be landing in Burma as well. There we go. They all attacked Calcutta. Alrighty. So, I did mention that I had 1 infantry in northern Burma. This infantry will, move north into Yunnan. The mechanized infantry in Amway at a movement of 1 and 2 will link up with that Japanese infantry. The entire Japanese fleet in C-Zone 38 will make steam and a movement of 1 and 2, and we'll go to C-Zone 42. The entire fleet, this force was actually taken out. The strategic bomber in C-Zone 45 will make steam at a movement of, not steam, but will fly out back to the mainland at a movement of 1, 2, and 3, and will land in Hong Kong. The 2 infantry and artillery in Hong Kong will head west and move into Guangxi. There we go. The Japanese fleet in C-Zone 35, will make steam at a movement of 1 and 2, and will link up with the Japanese fleet in C-Zone 42. All right, that's that. I believe I've completed all of my non-combat movements. I think they've been made already. So I'm going to go ahead then with the placements of newly purchased units. I'm going to go ahead and place then 3 armor all the way in Manchuria. All right, I'm going to place the newly purchased minor complex in Guangxi, where the strategic bomber is currently located in, and I will place 2 infantry and one fighter in Japan itself. There we go. All right, and I think that does it for all of my non. So let's go ahead and do the income tracker. I just did a quick count of all the territories that the Japanese have under their control, and that brings Japan to a grand total of 52 IPCs. All right, so as always, please, the Overwatch, if you guys can help out, if you see any errors in my math there, please don't hesitate to let me know. All right, so let's go ahead with the national objectives. Japan does control the Burma Road. That's a total of 5 IPCs. An additional 5 IPCs per territory if the Axis control Calcutta, Sydney, Honolulu, or San Francisco. Of course, the only one there is Calcutta, so that's 5. And then a one-time payment of 10 IPCs if Japan captures Calcutta, which of course it has accomplished that. Now, there seems to be some sort of double dipping going on here. I could be mistaken, and I could be misinterpreting the rules, but the way I understand is Japan is collecting 20 additional IPCs as a national objective, so that brings up the Japanese economy to a total of 72 IPCs that it will be carrying over to round 4. However, I'm forgetting that there is a convoy disruption, okay, in season 20, season 20, where we have a U.S. sub. So let's go ahead and do that disruption right now. The Japanese did not have the resources, at least as far as I was concerned, as the Japanese commander, to go ahead and chase that submarine. So I let it be on purpose. So there's an automatic +1. That submarine does have 2 die rolls. And let's see what comes of that attack. So there we go. There's a 3 and a 4. There's a tilted die landed on a chip there. So let's re-roll that one. And another 5. Okay, so only 1 IPC's worth of damage was inflicted on the Japanese economy for a grand total now of -1. So the Japanese economy will have 71 IPCs that it will be carrying over to round. All right, so let's wrap up this Japan turn by going over the final disposition of forces. In Burma, currently Japan has a single artillery division occupying the whole of Calcutta. In Burma, we have a total of 8 tacticals and 9 fighters. French Indochina, 1 Japanese armor. Kwangsi, 2 infantry, 1 artillery. In Kwangtong, 1 strategic bomber. In Yunnan, 1 infantry and 1 mechanized infantry. In Hunan, we have a total of 7 infantry and 3 artillery. In Kweichow, 2 infantry. All right, let's go to the area around the Money Islands. In Java itself, we have 1 infantry, 1 artillery. Off the coast of Java, season 42, we have 3 naval transports, a submarine, 3 destroyers, 3 carriers, 2 cruisers, and 2 battleships. Season 43, we have a naval transport, Borneo, 1 infantry, Palau Islands, 1 infantry, Caroline Islands, 1 AAA, 2 infantry, Okinawa, 1 infantry. Japan itself, we have 4 artillery, 3 AAAs, 1 fighter, and 6 infantry. In Manchuria, we have 1 minor complex, 1 AAA, 3 newly placed armor, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 infantry. That's 9 infantry, 3 armor, 1 AAA, minor complex. I don't know if I skipped Hong Kong, also known as Kwangtong. We have 1 strategic bomber and 1 minor complex. All right, guys, this is the end of the Japan turn. What a turn! Calcutta has fallen. I think the tide is turning in the Pacific in favor of the Axis powers. Okay, once again, I would like to thank Chaplin for his assistance in this round. He's quite the gentleman, and it's such a pleasure playing with him. Thank you for your help, my brother. Anyway, guys, I always look forward to hearing what your comments and opinions are regarding the strategies and tactics that we use in this game. And as I like to say, don't forget to bunker down and play. Chaplin, you're up.